What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Life Giving Podcast. You are here with Darion, and this is going to be my testimony. I figured if you guys are going to subscribe, if you guys are going to join in on the Bible studies, you guys are going to listen to the words of encouragement, you guys are going to listen to us share God's love. It's probably fair to share a little bit about me. Well, share a little bit about my testimony. First of all, 30 years old. Was literally just born and raised in church. First, grandma was taking me, then dad was taking me every Sunday. And as a kid, mm-mm, mm, I, I didn't want to go. Tried to sleep in on Sundays. Tried to let dad sleep. Don't do nothing to wake him up. But as a kid, I just didn't want to go. I didn't understand the importance of it. And then even as an adult, I still think when I was going to my church. I hadn't opened my heart yet. My heart wasn't open, so when the pastor was preaching, I wasn't hearing there, and so I just chalked it up. Oh, he's preaching more to the older generation. I can't understand. I mean, my church was there was more older people than younger people, so I just chalked it. He's preaching to the older generation, and so as I continue to go throughout life, I knew about God, but I hadn't accepted Him because I was still living life the way I wanted to live life. And I wouldn't say that I was a bad person in any way. Like I had a lot of friends. I was a people pleaser at heart. If I'm being honest, I was a people pleaser. I was like a chameleon, right? If this is your likes and interests, okay, well that's cool. All right, I go over here. I had different likes and interests because you're trying to get along with everybody. Um, but I just wanted to live life the way I wanted to live life. I didn't want to live life the way anybody else. And so as I graduate from high school, I go into college. And I always, when I think about college, I always like, oh, I had so much fun. But I did a lot of things wrong. I feel like in my life, I probably deceived many people while smiling in their faces, and I never looked at people truly loving them like Jesus has commanded us to. But I probably looked at people as like objects, as people to take advantage of to get to my end goal. I felt jealous and envy in my heart when I felt people around me start to go further than me. When I was kind of getting left back and I saw them having success in their life, like it bothered me because I wanted that. Like I wanted the big house and I wanted the nice cars and I wanted the bank account full of money and I was so selfish. Like I truly think about it, and all of my thoughts really were about me in a sense. Now, don't like I said, I had a lot of friends. Like I was cool with a lot of people, but if people would actually do what was going on inside of my head, I would say a lot of those thoughts were just me focused. Um, I didn't think I was gonna fall in love um, because I couldn't imagine the idea of committing to one person for my entire life, and I'm so ashamed to say that. Like I hate that was that way, and so I never even when I would pursue women, I would never think about like an entire future with them. I I was like, well, I'm being honest up front and letting them know like I'm not looking for a future with them, right? I'm being honest. And so I thought that made me good because at least I'm being honest about it. What they choose to do after that is their choice, but that's not right. I look at that and absolutely ashamed because women are not objects. I don't care if you say, right, hey, you're honest up front. That doesn't make you any better. You're still living in sin. You're still out there doing sin. But I couldn't see it that way. I was always trying to find a way to justify my actions. I was always searching for a reason to justify my actions. I'm going to party. I went to parties all the time. Was getting wasted. Um, and I mean, just the college lifestyle that you see promoted in movies and TV shows, like just throw me in there, and I feel like that's kind of what I was in. And while that time, I feel like I'm still not gonna lie. that version of me had a lot of fun. Had a lot of fun at a lot of those parties. I turned to a lot of things to help give me courage because I was a shy person. So I turned to alcohol to give me more courage to be free and to just because when you're drinking, yeah, you become I always said I would become a different person, like a more confident person, a person who's not afraid to speak to girls, a person who's not afraid to dance at a party, a person who I was just more confident. And so I would always be like, dang, college was so fun. That was such great years. I didn't even want to graduate when I graduated. Like, I wanted to stay because I was having too much fun. But I graduated from college. I started going into adult life. Jeez, adult life hits you, but still, if I'm looking at it right now and if I'm thinking about my past, I made money my God, because I was always chasing it. I was always chasing it. It's all I thought about. When I thought about spending money, I always felt fear. Like I don't want my bank account. I don't want to have to make a big payment. I don't want it to drop below this. So I won't get this or I won't get that. And don't be wrong. It is wise to be wise with your money. The Bible tells us to be wise. But I was very selfish, and it was my God. It was all I chased. It was what I thought about. Even after me and my wife got married, we get into arguments because like I didn't. There was money in the bank account to get that, but I didn't want to. I didn't want to spend it, not one bit. Like I just wanted to continue to see it grow and continue to see it grow and continue. And my wife would be like, "When's it like? When do you think it's ever going to be enough?" And I'm like, "I honestly don't know. I don't know if it'll ever be enough." And I think that like saying that out loud right now is sad. I don't know if it'll ever be enough. I don't know if I'll ever be content because I just wanted to continue to stack. So that means nieces and nephews' birthdays. They usually didn't get a gift from me. I didn't invest time. I feel like with nieces and nephews, like I should have, into my family, like I should have. I didn't give like I should have. If I were to give you money, it was a loan. It was not to give. Um, And I always thought, well, I'm doing good because I am loaning it to my family, like, but I wouldn't give to. I'm outside of family. I'm not giving to any kind of causes or anything like that. Um, and my dad, I saw him walk with this just in God's light, and I just looked up to him so much. Like I love him so much, and he's the most amazing man here on earth, to me. But I wasn't. It's like I saw him walking in God's light, but I was like, I'll do that later on in life. I think if I'm truly, I'll do that later on in life. Right? When I get older, after I've had all of my fun, after I've had all of my good times, then I'll build that relationship with God. Because when I hear people giving their testimonies in church, a lot of them be like, I used to live like this, I used to do this, and then I turned to God. And I was like, oh, okay, so you turn to God later, so you can't judge me for and I just whatever, like I said before, whatever I could to justify my actions and to tell me in my head, this isn't bad. Like everybody did this, and then when they got older, they turned to him. Uh, and so that was definitely me just trying to justify it at all costs. But thank God, God gave me a son. I when I dreamed about having kids, I never dreamed about having a girl. I'll be honest with y'all. I never dreamed about it. I always dreamed about my little boy. I was raising to be, you know what I'm saying, the best basketball player in the world. And don't get me wrong, we be playing basketball a lot. But those are just my thoughts. I need a legacy. I need to pass down my last name. Like I need a boy. And he saw fit. I don't know why. I was so selfish. My desires and thoughts were so selfish. Even, I would say, even with my wife, as much as I loved her, I loved myself more. And I think my actions prove that. I think they, I think they were showing her that I love her, and we get into arguments, and you know, we fight, and I would never listen or understand where she was coming from. because I was too focused on, well, dang, I'm going through this. This is what I'm going through. This is like I'm fighting against this, and I'm just worried about my own struggles. I'm worried about my own stresses. I'm not paying attention to maybe walk a mile in her shoes. What she's going through. What does she need from me? What can I do to her to make her life easier? Uh, and I say God gave me a boy. He formed my boy. He molded my boy, but he put him inside of my wife to carry for 9 months. 9 months. Her body completely is changing. I mean, all my women out there, y'all know, 9 months they're going through morning sickness and aches and pains in your feet, and your self esteem's dropping because you see your body changing and you're hurt, and you can't eat this and you can't eat that and you can't do this, and it's just she went through 9 months of that. 9 months. And I was there for each step of the way. Don't get me wrong, I loved my wife, but I didn't love her the way God commanded me to love her. And I would still say I love me more. But when I saw my boy, legitimately, that was the first time I ever loved someone more than I loved myself. That was the first when I looked into his eyes, and my heart just felt this overwhelming sensation of love. It was legit like sometimes I can't speak because it was I love him so much. It was overwhelming, and I wanted to be the best dad imaginable. And to me, I was like, to me, being the best dad imaginable was getting you all the things that I never had growing up, material things. It was making sure that you had everything that you wanted, right? And I laugh now thinking about it because that's not what being the best dad is at all. But the reason I thank God is because it was Him. It was Him who allowed my heart to open up first off to feel love for someone more than I felt for myself, but to just open up, and every time I look in his eyes, it's just that overwhelming sensation of love would just come pouring through. And so, anyways, I'm out of the church. My dad, every time I see him, you going to church, you promise? Nah, Dad, we're gonna go, but we looking. Nah, Dad, we searching for one. We gonna find one soon. We went like a month ago, and you finding a church? Nah, Dad. Nah. And that's all. My dad, I don't care where you go, but you need to go, son. Don't care where, but you need to go. And so, I go to shout out to my mother-in-law. I moved across states to be with my wife. Um, she starts going to church for a couple of weeks, just by herself. She takes the initiative to go by herself. And I'm so thankful for her, and I love her so much for taking that initiative. With her daughters, they're very, very close, very, very close. And so once she starts going, after a while, my wife says, "Hey, like I want to go to church this Sunday." And, I grew up in church. Like I wasn't opposed to the idea of going to church. Like, okay, we go to church. So we go that first Sunday, singing, pastor's preaching, and yeah, but I was like, and I look at my wife and I'm like, I don't really know if this church is for me. Like maybe we need to look around a bit. I'm not feeling anything. Then we go the next week, and it was this incredible music group. I'm trying to remember their name. They were absolutely freaking awesome. Like up on that stage, it was beautiful. You see people crying. And I thought the music was amazing. But I still hadn't felt that presence of God in my life. I still hadn't felt it. And okay, but it was amazing. So I'm like, let's go back. We go back the next week. It was that week that completely shifted. I can't tell you the exact day, but I'll say the last Sunday in September. Last Sunday of September. It was that week. And the pastor's preaching it again. I'm just sitting there, it's kind of going over my head. I'm like, I'm not hearing it. But he says something that makes me sit up at attention to hold on to every single word that he says. And it was just a little nugget. He said a lot of the times we tend to love the creation, but we forget to love the creator. And it was legit. I legitimately mean in that moment that my heart had finally accepted Jesus. Had finally, it was like my eyes open. I look at my son, the only person in the world that I love more than me. I look at him. I look up and I thank God. And I start thinking about all the blessings that He's continuously given me throughout my entire life. Even when my back was turned to Him, even when I wasn't pursuing a relationship with me, He was still being faithful. He was still there in my corner. He took care of me all this time. He gave me a house. He gave me a car. He gave me a family. He gave me so much overwhelming love. And it was like I finally recognized it. I finally realized how truly blessed I was. And it was in that moment that I felt the shift. I felt the shift. And all of y'all know like that have given your heart to Christ and allowed Him to transform it. Like there's a shift. Now I'm coming home. I just wanna read the Bible. I just wanna go through Bible plans. I wanna go through as many as possible. I wanna listen, like the music that I listened to, it didn't hit the same. I was like, it didn't feel the same. The TV shows and the movies that I watched, that I loved, I was like, I can't wait till the next season to drop on binging it. They weren't as entertaining. It was like I didn't want that anymore. Like I just wanted to feel God's presence all the time. So when I'm looking for music, Christian music, people giving their testimonies, Christian rap, Christian, and they're singing their hearts out, and it was amazing. It's amazing. I feel that spirit. So I'm like, that's all I want to listen to when I'm watching TV shows and movies, right? Now I'm downloading Christian movie and TV subscriptions that have a lot of those movies and TV shows, and I just want to watch those. Like anytime I get free time, like, no, I don't want to go to those. I want to watch this because I felt His presence. Like when I watch it, and it was life changing, and then He continues to work, right? Continues to pour into my heart. Give me a second. As you can see, he decided to wake up. So now we're gonna finish the rest of this video with my son. But this is my son, Josiah. Can you keep saying da 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 da? Say da 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 da. I absolutely love this kid so much. But yeah, I was talking about the transformation God had been making in my life. Just how when I'm watching these movies and these shows, I'm learning so much, and I'm in my Bible and I'm studying the Word, and I'm in these plans and I'm studying, and it was in that realization I was like, man, like I'm not loving my wife the way God intended me to, and the way that she's asked me to. I was loving her the way I wanted to love her. And so I started to see her in a completely different light. Like, this is my wife. This is the woman who carried this person I said was the only person in the world I love more than me. This was the woman who carried him. She went through all that. You're telling me I wasn't loving her the way I should have. I looked at her in a completely different light. Like my wife, I love him. He means so much to me, and I do whatever it took, whatever he needed, but he don't come before her. It's God, my wife, and then he falls into place. She comes before him because that's how it was intended to be. And so I look at my wife with just an absolutely loving heart and a completely different lens now, and I see everything that she's done to me, and I get on my knees every morning, every morning, and I pray with her every night, and I just thank God that He gave her to me because I didn't deserve her. I didn't deserve him. I don't deserve the air in my lungs. I don't deserve the house that I'm sitting in. I don't deserve the car in my driveway. I don't deserve any of it. Like, I was a very selfish person for most of my life, and yet I was still so blessed. Um, but yeah, I love her completely differently. Like she, I make sure I take care. I try. Don't get me wrong. I ain't perfect, so I won't say I make sure. I say I try to make sure I take care of her needs and try to make sure that I'm treating her the way that she should be treated as my wife. As my son, I thought I was being the best dad, just wanting to get him everything and wanting so much for him, but now I'm loving him the way God intended me to love him. And through that, my heart is a lot more patient. My heart is a lot more understanding. And there were some times I wasn't the most patient, I wasn't the most understanding, and I don't like that. A lot of the times I built up resentment when I got angry. I never usually express myself, but I built it up inside. And I feel like just God has taken all that off my heart. When it comes to money, I have less than I did before I gave my life to God, but he gives me enough to provide for me and my family, and that's all I truly care about. It's just being able to provide for them, and now wanting to like go out and like share His love and share His word and share that transformation with others. Because I know when you accept Him, there's just it's amazing. You will experience a joy and a peace like nothing else. Don't get me wrong. It's still gonna be trials that you're gonna have to go through, but it just feels like when God's by your side, you know you're gonna come out on the other side of it. It's like, yeah, it's gonna be tough, but you know God's gonna get me through this. He is gonna get me through this. And so for me, it was just absolutely life changing in the sense of it started to transform who I am, and I feel like I've only truly accepted Him a month ago, and so there's still a lot of transforming He got left to do, but I'm just gonna move out the way and let God do what He needs to do with me. I pray every day that He uses me, however He sees fit, because for so long I ignored Him. I turned my back on Him. I forgot about Him, and He never forgot about me. He had never forsaken me. He was always there blessing me. There were so many situations He got me out of that I might not should still be here today. I've gotten in, but He was there for me. And as He's getting angry, as you can see, He don't got the patience as that got you, and He just wants to grab everything. But that's just my testimony and what God has done in my life and the transformation that He's made in me and is continuing to make in me. And it's just been absolutely amazing. So I just want y'all to know a little bit about me before we continue our studies with this group. And I know my brothers on this channel are also going to give their testimonies as well, so you get to hear how God has worked and transformed into their lives. And if you guys would like to share, we'd love to talk to as many people as we can about like how God has transformed their life. And if anybody has questions about anything, like feel free to message and let us know. But you about ready to wrap it up? Yeah, he needs to be played with. He said it's time to go play basketball. It's time for me to get down and be me. So I love you guys. I hope this helps someone. And I'll see you guys next.